it's quite funny, but I also think it's very, very common. So we had a message that said, I'm about to have a new baby, and my child, who I already have, I have one child, and that child keeps saying they're planning to eat the baby. Do I need to be worried?
Oh my God.
About the fact that she's saying she wants to eat the baby?
How old is the child?
And so I've not got a lot of information because it came from it as a short question, but I think probably somewhere like 2 or 3, I would guess, from their message.
She wants to eat the baby.
Or we also don't have context on whether it's like, oh, you're so delicious, I want to eat the baby, or whether it's like, I'm going to eat the baby. We don't know which one it is.
Okay, so what do we do?
So
you notice I'm not answering that question because I really don't know what the answer is to that.
I think we've got some laws in the back. We've got some laws in the background. So I think the big thing, and this happens with my children a lot, is they say something that is confusing, like I'm going to eat the baby.
Yeah.
But they don't mean that. They're trying to work out what is the relationship to this new entity. So it might be, for example, like they say, I don't want to live in the new house. They do want to live in the new house. They just don't know enough about the new house to want to live there.
Yeah.
So they say something confusing, like, I'm going to leave all my toys in the old house. And you think, well, obviously you don't want to do that. And this is a similar kind of idea. We've got a small brain, a little person's brain, where it hasn't yet been wired up properly all the way through. They don't understand all the concepts. They don't know what's going to happen. They've got no experience of this new thing. They know it's going to be different, but they don't know how. They may be implying a whole load of love by saying, I'm going to eat the baby.
Well, grown-ups say about babies the whole time. I want to put you in a sandwich and eat you. I take a big bite out of you.
Yeah, and obviously we don't condone eating babies.
No,
She doesn't know baby eating ever, but you can see whether in some ways it might be a very affectionate thing, even said in anger. It might be very affectionate and also confusing because at the moment the baby is in mommy's tummy, which is where you eat things. There could be a whole load of confusing things about if you love the baby, do you have to eat it? Right? As in, like, mummy may have eaten the baby and that's why it's in her tummy.
Oh, I see. The mummy may on the baby in the first place.
That's right.
And if I eat the baby, it might
go in my tummy. Okay. I love the baby. If I show everyone I love the baby by putting the baby in my tummy, there's obviously something confusing about this metaphor or image. And there's often interesting imagery we get with children that usually comes from misconception.
Gosh, that's amazing. I didn't.
So there are lots of things it could be. It could be we show love through food in our family. So I'm going to eat the baby to show you that I love it. Could be that. Could be the opposite. It could be I'm worried about this baby, and if I eat the baby, maybe it will go away. In which case, we need to show our child why it will be nice to have a new baby. So there are lots of things we can do to prepare for having a new baby. One of them is just to spend time with our older baby and say, even when I have a new baby, you're still going to be my baby. So it's confusing for children to think that they might be replaced. And we know that one of the things that causes a huge amount of anxiety for when people have a new baby is children know fundamentally that they need us to survive. So babies know, my children know they need me to survive. That's why I don't just go to the Maldives, even my children in the house, because I know that when I come back, they'd be very, very unwell. They need me to look after them, to clean them, to feed them, to change them, to make sure they've had a shower, to give them nice clean clothes. They need me to survive. And my children know that. And when we have a new baby, our first baby wonders, will there be enough for me? And will I survive? So there's something really interesting about this question. How does love get distributed? How does care get distributed when we have a new baby? And how do we make sure our first baby, our first child, or our first children know that there will be enough? There will be enough. And that's what we're really trying to portray. So we're trying to explain what's it like to have a new baby. Firstly, when they really hardly do anything. They might make a noise sometimes, but they really mostly just flop about like a chicken. And they don't do very much in the first place. So at the very beginning, things shouldn't change very much, except that there might be a baby that cries sometimes. I definitely explain things like, why do babies cry? What do babies do? Even though we'll want to play with the baby will be a bit too small. Sadly, babies aren't as clever and fabulous as you are because they can't do all the things that you can do. But then I would really make it clear to my first children, my first baby, I will still be the same. I'm the same mummy. I'm the same daddy. I've got the same time. I'm going to still take you to school. I'm going to still do this. I'm going to still do that. Everything will be the same. We've just got this extra lovely thing of having a new baby. And I might ask, what does it mean to eat the baby? I might ask the question just to my child rather than worrying about it. Is that her being angry? Is that her being loving? I'd ask, what does it mean to eat the baby? If I was going to eat you, what would that be like? And see whether she says, you say to me, mummy, you're going to munch me all up. That's what I'm going to do to the baby. And that's obviously affectionate. And if it's not affectionate, I would say, gosh, what would it be like if we did the baby? We're going to come in with curiosity and kindness. We're not going to tell off. We're going to allow this opportunity for conversation about what's the new baby going to be like and why might we want to eat it? Is it that you think it might be too loud? So if we eat it, we won't be able to hear the crying. Is that what you mean? Well, actually, babies have to cry because they need to tell us what's wrong and they can't speak. So we're going to allow an opportunity for curiosity and questioning and work out, what does the metaphor mean? What's the point of this imagery? I'm going to eat the baby. What does it mean? Is it loving? Is it an indication of fear? Is it a way of getting rid of danger? Is it a way of getting rid of noise? What does your other child misunderstood about what's it like to have a baby, and why would eating the baby be useful in this context? And we're going to ask, what does that mean? How would you do it? Show me how you would eat me if I was the baby. Does it feel affectionate or does it feel aggressive? What are we trying to diffuse or add to make it feel more manageable? And then once our baby comes, we're trying to firstly make sure no one hurts the baby, obviously, but we're trying to assume that generally our children will love each other over time, and the more kindness and care and positivity and the more available we are to our first baby, the baby will have far less, our oldest child will have far less to rail against and far less reason to eat the baby.
Okay, excellent. So very well. I think you dealt that very well indeed. And if anybody's surprised that their existing children might resent a new baby, I just remember somebody saying, just imagine if your partner or husband or wife said, you know what, I like you so much, I'm bringing back another wife or husband, and also, they're going to move in with us.
And also not that, but they now have to sleep in my bedroom, so there's no space for you in the bed, and they have to sit next to me at the dinner table, so there's no space for you to sit next to me, and I can't possibly hold your hand because I'm already holding the hand of my new husband. Exactly. Yeah. You can see the kind of displacement that we feel is very visible. It's a visible displacement, a feeling that we're no longer the baby. So we want to make sure our children do get to be called the baby, that you still carry your older child up to bed, for example. Even if they're 7, I would still carry them on 12 and put them in the fireman's lift, get them up the stairs. Yeah. I try and think, what care will they lose now we've got a new baby? And then I try and make sure I was still doing it. And you can do it in a more hands-off way. Something like, if you know they can put their shoes on, you, instead of saying, I'm going to put your shoes on so that they know that you're there to do it, I would say, I know you can put your shoes on, but if you need any help, I'm here. So you don't always have to be doing it. You're just still showing that your care is available.
And I always think, be very, very careful that other adults don't start saying to your young child, you're the grown-up
big girl,
the big girl, boy, look after the baby, look after your mother, and all those sorts of things, because they can really undo all the good work that you're doing by just saying thoughtless and that's idiotic.
Right. And you could, and I would say, correct people. If they come in and they say, you're the big girl now, move out the way, let me see the tiny baby, I love that baby, I don't want to look at you, or whatever. I would say, actually, she's also a baby. I got 2 babies. I'm so lucky. I got 2 babies, aren't I so lucky? Yeah. And I would allow your child to be the baby. And also, if they want to do any baby behavior, like pretending to breastfeed or pretending to be wrapped in a blanket, do it. They're just trying to check, am I still your baby? Is there still care available for me? Do you still love me now as a new baby? Will there still be time for me? Will someone still bath me? Will someone still give me the things I need? Yeah. And we're trying to show, without any question, yes, I'm still here. For you, baby, and that doesn't make any difference how much I love you or how I'll care for you. And I can hold the baby and hold you at the same time. I can hold baby and wash you in the bath and still give you everything that you need. And I'd say so. Look how well I'm doing. And I can carry both of you at the same time. I'm so clever.
As a huge downer, I'm now, I know, don't look it, but 64, I know.
You look great.
I know, look hysterical, I know that. But I'm still thoroughly nose out of jointish at the birth of my sister. Absolutely livid. No, I really, really am. I'm furious, fuming and furious.
How many years ago was this?
61 and a half years ago.
So you've been annoyed for 61 and a half years?
Yeah.
And if your parents had done any of the things I've just said,
they didn't do anything.
Making sure you felt like you were still the baby, giving you time to have the things you need, showing you that love and care was still available, making sure you could feel that the baby wasn't very capable, but you were really capable, do you think you'd feel less out of enjoyment?
Possibly. I mean, first thing it did was kick me out of my bedroom. Yeah. That's now the nursery, you get deposed. Just the whole thing was an absolute bloody nightmare, and I'm still furious, and that's the truth.